Life's too complicated. You can't memorize a list of do's and don'ts. If he does this, then you do that. If he says this, then you say that. Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to memorize a list of things you're supposed to do like a flow chart? You just can't do it. It's too complicated. Nobody could memorize a list of things like that. You just can't do it. So what are you supposed to do then? How are you supposed to know what to do? Well, in self-defense, the way you do it is you create a way of walking in the world, and that's your compass. That's the way that you get through the world, so that you don't have to make a map of the world and memorize it. You just have a simple compass. And the compass that we use in self-defense is PADE. And PADE stands for prevention, avoidance, de-escalation, and escape. It's very straightforward. So, prevention. You don't go to places where there's going to be violence. Avoidance. When situation starts to get uncomfortable and people start to act out and it looks like things might be starting to go south, then you don't wait for things to get better. Well, maybe my friends are going to start getting their act together. Maybe it looks like this event is starting to get out of hand, but maybe no, you don't think like that. Things are starting to get out of hand, I'm leaving. I see signs that things are going to not go as planned. Get out of there. Avoid it. De-escalation. If you're caught in a situation, then do everything you can to diffuse the situation and not push and not make a bad situation or deteriorating situation go downhill even faster. Whatever it takes to make peace, make peace. And then finally, escape. The single best self-defense technique ever devised is to run away. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you the ultimate self-defense fitness drill. So just bear with me until the end, because the payoff's coming, I promise. Now, what's really remarkable is that there's also a compass that you can use to move through your everyday life, and that compass is Christianity, because it helps unite your thoughts, your desires, your actions, and your beliefs. And if you think that I'm crazy, then maybe you'll take a look. Look, you can't memorize any more than you can memorize what to do in a self-defense situation. If he grabs me here, then I'll do that. If he does this, then I'll do that. You can't do that in a fight. But you also can't do it in real life. So if you're in a situation and if someone says this, what do I say? If someone does this, what do I do? You don't need a list of if and ands and a list of do's and don'ts. What you need is a compass that allows you to move through the world in a way that makes sense. So then you can handle any situation if you have that compass. So why don't we just take a look at a few of the rules, simple rules, that we see in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6. Now, I'm not going to go into, well, we'll start at the end of chapter 5. And then we'll walk through just a few of them so you can see. So here's Matthew 5:39. But I say to you, offer no resistance to one who is evil. When someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn the other one to him as well. Now, note that it says, turn the other cheek. It doesn't say if he stabs you, in your right arm, give him your left arm to stab. It's talking about a slap. And that's the same as your de-escalation. So if someone insults you or gives you a little backhand, then let it go. De-escalate the situation. Leave. It's not worth it. There's a simple thing called the Lord's Prayer that we seem to have forgotten quite a bit. And no one really says it like they used to. But if you say the Lord's Prayer, you understand something in there that's embedded within it. And of course, this comes in Matthew 6, chapter 9, where Christ says how you should pray. And he says, well, one of the things he says is, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Embedded in those simple words is the idea that we make mistakes too. And what we should be doing is understanding that we're imperfect, they're imperfect. And wouldn't you like someone to, let's say, prevent, de-escalate, and escape where you're concerned? Let's say you've had one too many beers and you're running your mouth more than you should be running it. Wouldn't you rather that person de-escalate the situation and give you the benefit of the doubt? Well, then why don't you give them the benefit of the doubt? It's really summed up beautifully in this section here, which is Matthew 6:27. Can any of you, by worrying, add a single moment to your lifespan? Why are you anxious about clothes? Learn from the way the wildflowers grow. They do not work or spin. But I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was clothed like one of them. If God so clothes the grass of the field, which grows today and is thrown into the oven tomorrow, will he not much more provide for you, O you of little faith? So do not worry and say, what are we to eat? What are we to drink? Or what are we to wear? All of these things the pagans seek. Your heavenly Father knows that you need them all. And here's the key. But first seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given you besides. Do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Sufficient for the day is its own evil. So you can't say to yourself, what if I do this? And what if he does that? And what do I do if he grabs me here? And what if he pulls back his fist like this? That's not how to live. Live in the present moment. And be simple. Prevent, avoid, de-escalate, escape. And then, Matthew 7, right at the beginning. Stop judging that you may not be judged. For as you judge, so will you be judged. And the measure with which you measure will be measured out to you. Do to others whatever you would have them do to you. This is the law of the prophets. So what you need, again, in your life in self-defense and in your life in general is a set of simple rules that allow you to move through the world such that you don't have to memorize a map. Now what I'm going to give you, as promised, is a fitness drill that's going to test you like nothing that you've ever done, probably, at least recently. So I did it twice yesterday. I did it once in the morning, and then I did it once with the club in the evening. So it's not that bad, but it's certainly a nice test. Now, it's set up as 5 rounds. So it's going to be 5 4-minute rounds with a 1-minute break. And if you like, you can just set up a repeating timer for 5 minutes, and then you can do 5 times 5. What we did was we did it with a 4 and 1. And those of us that wanted to work through the 1-minute breaks, you can. If you're a beginner level, then maybe you have to take many breaks during the course of the 5 rounds. But it's 5 times 5 is 25 minutes in total. So it simulates the fight from the escape point through the end of the fight. So if it starts with escape, then this training drill starts with a run. So you're going to right off the top. The assumption is if it's a self-defense situation and you try to escape, then there's going to be something involved in that escape. So it starts with 2 rounds of running. So the first 2 5-minute rounds are a run. And you want to run for 10 minutes. So the way to do this, if you have a watch timer with the 5-minute interval, is that if you're at home, let's say, or maybe you want to do this at the park like we did it, then you can run out for 5 minutes and then run back for 5 minutes. So round 1 is run out, round 2 is run back. At the park we ran laps, whatever you want to do. So round 1 run, round 2 run. Round 3 is shadow boxing. So for the full extent of the full 5 minutes, just punch. Punch and kick and just keep moving. Constant motion, constant activity for round 3. Then for round 4 and round 5, you're going to need a heavy bag without the chains. Look, if you do martial arts, you need a floor bag. That's a heavy bag with either the chains removed or the chains taped. Now, I'm going to show you what to do with that bag for rounds 4 and round 5. So, round 1 is run, round 2 is run, round 3 is your shadow boxing round. Round 4, get your heavy bag. And then I want you to fight with this heavy bag. This simulates your grappling. So I want you to grab this bag and I want you to squeeze it. See, I've got my left palm down and I'm using the forearm bone to cut. And this simulates wrestling. So you want to hold this bag and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As your arm gets tired, then switch your palm to palm grip. Now my right arm, this arm, is the one that's cutting. And I'm going to cut, 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 cut. Now, from time to time, if you want to fight with this bag a little bit, then you can practice putting it in your scarf hold if you like. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you need a break, switch to the other side. Then you can practice. If you need a break, you get gassed. Then go ahead and put it on your shoulder. Take a little break. Kind of walk it off. And this will simulate the clinching, scuffling part of the, of the self-defense situation. Cut, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can with that arm. All right? That's round 4. Now for round 5, then I want you to fight with the bag on the ground. So we've done the first 2 rounds are running. The 3rd round is the boxing. And then if they scuffle and you want to actually practice what I just showed you, Then the final round is the wrestling. So that's when you get taken to the ground. So I want you to practice a little bit of that. And so I like a simple basic drill. So maybe you simulate, set the bag up, and then maybe you get into your, I want to get this so it stays on the camera. So you get into your good wrestling stance here, and then you kind of get back a little bit, and you do your shot. And then you hit it, like so. And then you practice getting into position. Back bridge. If you want to do a wrestler's bridge to your head, you can do that. Practice your scissors. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can. Roll it back over. Smear. And then make your escape. Set it up. Get into position. Shoot. Hit. Roll. Bridge. Bridge. Scissors. Squeeze as hard as you can until maybe failure. Roll it over. Smear. Hit, hit. And then repeat. Try that for 5 minutes and see how you do. After 25 minutes, you should be pretty sweaty. I know we were last night. So, that's a good basic fitness drill for real fighting fitness. And if you like that, then I know you're going to like my book, Martial Grit, which you should probably go pre-order now because it releases on August 1st. Thanks for watching. Take care.